Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gemma's Window. If you have followed the calculations in the box below, or from my website, gemmaswindow@gmail.com, and calculated you're a power year number 3, then you are at the right place. Now, if you are a power year 3, it means you're in the month of 4 for January 2020. Now, 3s, you only have to calculate your power year number once for the entire year. Your monthly numbers will change, but I'm going to tell you what those monthly numbers are. Now, the universal year for 2020, this isn't your year, it's everybody's year. We're in a year of 4. Okay? And 4 is a very practical year. It's a very hard working year. It's a year where you say, okay, I want to build a foundation now for my career. I want to cement my feet into what I'm doing, or I want to change completely and start anew and build a foundation for it. That same theory goes for where you're living. It goes for the relationships you have. It's also a year that can affect, that past things kind of creep up that you still have to deal with. Now, that's for absolutely everybody. Let's put that aside. I just want you to know, 3s, that there's an edge to this entire year for everybody, of keeping you on your toes. So the power year 3 is meant to be a lighter year for you, because next year you go into a year of 4, which is a tougher, harder working year. 3 is about seeing people, not being serious with people, meeting someone, dating people. It can also bring some drama into your life. It can be a great year for people in the arts. But that aside, you can bring drama into people's life. They can bring drama into your life. But it's meant to be more of a fun and flirty kind of year. Now, in January, you're in the month of 4, which, again, is a more practical month. So we want to take a look, which we're going to, at business, love, and then any question that you have, and apply your numbers to those months, and see what we come up with. Now, I have some special days marked out for you for the calendar of January, so if you'd like to get a pen and paper and jot it down, or you can just check back to this video later on and listen and check it out. So we're going to take a look at the most romantic days, the best days for business, the best days for any kind of endings, and the best days for finance. Okay, 3s, here we go. So let's see what your first big day is January 2nd, and that is for romance. Let's take a look at your next day. That's great for romance would be the 11th. The next day is January 20th. And the next day is January 29th. So you have 4 great days for romance in your month of January. Let's see what's next for you. Okay, finance. Good days for finance. January 4th. January 13th. January 22nd. And January 31st. You've got 4 days that are good for finance. 3s in the month of January. Next days for endings, 3s. Good days for you to wrap something up, or that something else might wrap up in your life. January 5th, good day for ending. January 14th, good day for ending. January 23rd, good day for ending. And that is it. Next we have good days for getting a job, applying for a job, making a pitch at work for something. January 9th, January 18th, and January 27th. Now, let's get on with our cards, and let's see what they have to say. Now, let's pull some cards for you, 3s. You're in this month of 4, and again, 4 is a harder, practical month. So let's see what's going to happen for you. Whoopsie. If you already have a position I'm just surprised at something. And it's a power year. It's a power year of 3 for you. Okay, I just want to tell you something that I did something wrong. I began this reading a few minutes ago, and I saw that I hadn't turned my microphone on. So I had to start all over again. And I used a different deck to start with this time, and I got the same card. That is the Tower card. So it kind of tells me, it kind of validates to me that some of you may have a difficult month in this month of January when it comes to those of you who are working. Because for the same card to turn up from 2 different decks in this position for you, it means something. And the thing about the Tower card, it is a card that talks about rumbles and things that can go wrong. But it is something that is repairable. It's just, I'm just amazed that it's the same reading virtually that I just did with another deck for you for this month. So what you have to be on your toes for in the month of January, threes, is that there are going to be maybe some blood-curdling screams from the workplace of changes that happen to you or around you. And I feel like what I've got here is that you've been working very hard somehow behind the scenes, or maybe you felt like you weren't being noticed, but everything that you have done, even if you lose this job or get laid off, you will land on your feet because you really have worked very hard and seen a bigger picture in your life, even if it hasn't been working at the workplace for the past 9 months. Maybe you've served yourself by getting the proper education and degrees or certifications 5 years ago that are going to help you land on your feet from this job shakeup, whatever it is. Now you may not be the person let go, or you may be saved somehow. Yes, some of you may, because I have the Star card coming into being, and it's about my Star card. My Star card is that you open up Pandora's box, you have every bug in the world hitting you right in the face, but there is a beautiful golden fairy on the other side of those bugs that you've got your eye on, and you know that I got to just hang in there a little bit more. I got to just hang in there a little bit more, and it's going to be okay. So whatever your instincts are telling you, I would say, threes, to follow them. It's meant to be a shakeup if you are out there working. Now let's pull 3 cards for those of you, threes, who are looking for a job, or maybe thinking of giving up their job that they're working out now, or maybe got an offer from somebody else. Let's see how we can make this applicable to you. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. Okay. Wow. Okay. Something's turned you off in the past. Wow. Something has turned you off in the past about either where you work, or who you're working with, or how they've been treating you, or a miscommunication of some kind, or someone else being, moving ahead before you. But I have the Ace of Pentacles where you are right now, and that's about recreation. And Pentacles is about money, and it's about your starting something. You just want to begin again. So you're out there and you're looking for a job, and or the other situations that I mentioned, and you're looking to start all over. You want to create a new you, or create a new workspace, or change a relationship, and by golly, I think you are. You have the Knight of Cups coming into being, and that is a new artistic project or proposal. So painting is not the only artistic position out there. You could be creative in many different ways, or it's just a project coming your way. But something is coming your way in this new frame of mind or new area of expertise or new job that you have been waiting for. Something about it makes me feel it's part-time-ish or a consulting position, but maybe that's just for some of you, that it might be the beginning of your own business, your own consulting business, your own part-time business if you haven't been working at all and you're just looking to get back out there with something new. So very, very interesting cards for you, and it all makes sense in this month of 4, a month where you're building new foundations to anything important in your life. Speaking of anything important in your life, let's shuffle this next deck and let's take a look at if you're in a relationship and you're in a power year number 3 in the month of January 2020. Okay, so right now it isn't 2020 and it feels very funny saying 2020. Okay, so you're in this relationship. Now, this is really, oh wow, what does this mean? Let's take a look, threes. Now, as I said, I feel like 3 brings in drama into your life, and man, is this dramatic. Holy moly. I have to kind of touch these cards and see clairvoyantly what I'm getting from them because they're really crazy. So we find you in a place of flux, threes, in January when it comes to your relationship. It's like you're kind of backed into a corner and you're not too sure what's going to happen. So I'm going to do this reading a little bit differently because on your left you have the Death card. And the Death card is about letting go of something so that you can move on and receive something better. For example, you've just had a big breakup in a relationship, or you've just made the hugest compromise in your life and you're like, oh my God, what did I do? Or you've been backed into a corner and I don't know, something radical has changed or ended and you have no idea what to do. And then coming into being, I've got the Having It All card. That's my 10 of Pentacles card, and it means that you've got the family, you've got this loving spouse, you've got the money, you've got it all. It looks like a crapshoot. So it looks to me that in this month of January, if you are a year of 3, it looks to me like you've done what you can do, and now you've kind of got to sit back and see which way it goes. But to understand that the universe is creating and has your back and is going to take a crummy situation and make a very good situation out of it for you. Now, this past crummy situation card could have been a past card of 5 years ago in this particular case. Usually I look at it as a recent past, but I just can't. This is a wild pendulum moving from left to right in this particular reading if you're a 3 for January. And it looks like one day it ain't and the next day it is. One day it's the worst and the next day it's the best. And you really don't have to do too much. You just have to sit back and wait and watch for it all to happen. Okay, 3s. Wow. Very, very interesting. Let's take a look at if you are looking for a relationship. You're a power year number 3. Wow. Okay. You too, guys. You too, if you're looking for a relationship. Wow, you feel like, am I ever going to be able to make this work? Am I ever going to find somebody? Or am I going to be able to win this person back? Is it ever going to be easier? And I feel like right now the answer is it's not meant to be. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. But I feel like this is a shout out to those of you who are being idealistic in a particular relationship or situation, thinking it'll get better, it'll get better, it'll get better, it'll get better. They'll come back around. I'll be able to make it work, even though all the signals are the same with this new person that I'm talking to via the internet, and they sound just like I'm walking back into a similar situation that I've been in the past that hasn't worked, but I'll make it work. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. That's one part of the reading, and the other part is that you are feeling a lot of judgment. I think you're being very hard on yourself, threes. I think you think that, January of 2020, maybe last January, the January before, that I should be at a certain place. Why aren't I at a certain place? Why aren't we at a certain place? And if I just keep afloat, kicking my feet crazy under the water, moving my arms crazy, just keep afloat. It's going to get better. And I feel like, no, it ain't. In this month of January, it's like the signals and the messages have already been given to you about your train of thought when it comes to finding this new relationship or making it a better one out of a past situation, and therefore you're just going to keep getting popped over the head from the universe until you find your self-worth. Find your self-worth. See your flaws, see your positives, see them clearly, own up to it, and start all over again. Wow. It's a hard month, but it's a really, really, I really feel like the thrust of your reading, threes, is that the universe is like, come on already, giddy up. We're going to get you shaped up so you're ready for your year of 4 next year, and you really start to fly. And next year you commit in that relationship, or you actually get married, or you actually have that child, or you actually get that job that you really, really want. They're kicking you into high gear. This is just a flavor in January of what's next for you next year. Or, not really just next year. You don't have to wait till next year. The second half of 2020, you're already feeling the pangs of the next numerical year. So it's not so far away. Now I'm shuffling now, and I would like you threes to ask a very specific question. Anything you want. Can have to do with love, can have to do with business. Again, that's fine. Anything you want, and I'm going to ask for what is the best that threes can expect for this situation at hand in the month of January, in the month of 4. Here we go. Okay. I have to see if that's the same. Okay. I feel like what I have here is that you have to depend on others, or at least one other person, to make this situation go the way you want it to. And I know that, I don't know, in my own mind, it kind of sounds like, well, isn't that kind of, how all situations are? Everybody has to be on the same page. But this seems more complicated to me than that. It just seems very complicated to me. So you have a question in mind, and I'm looking at what's the best that we can expect. And I just feel like once you put out one fire to get to where you want to be, another one crops up. And then you put out that fire, and another one crops up. And I don't have a conclusion for you. I don't have a conclusion for you in this month of January. It looks to me like you're still a work in progress. Is that once you think everything's going to be okay in this situation, another issue comes up. And the one reassuring thing that there is that the universe, though it doesn't always seem it, is always on your side. And the thing, something, that gets me through very tough situations is understanding that everything is exactly the way it's meant to be. We're here to learn lessons. We're here to conquer demons. And that's the kind of month it is. You're in this month of 4, and you're meant to get smacked with this, smacked with this, smacked with that. Because with every fire you put out, you're getting stronger, more confident, you're learning more about yourself, you're learning more about other people, and you're just not meant to get yet to the final frontier on whatever your question was about. But you're in active progress. You're in active progress. And another piece of information I feel is you don't have to take one person's word for it in this month. You can move on to the next person to get their advice, or you don't have to just stop at getting help from one source. You can move on to another source and get help elsewhere too. Make a collection of helpful people around you. Really, there's no harm in that. The sky is your limit. And another piece of information is, obviously the universe really wants you to achieve something. They want you to get to where you want to go, but they want you to achieve greatness in this area, and they want you to really fight for it, learn about it, find your strength, find your worth, and achieve more than you're even expecting. I guess to me as a reader, when I'm telling a client this, I want to wrap it in a bow, Oh, this gift is coming. Boom, boom, done, done. But not every questioner expects that. There are many logical people out there that understand that the greater the fight, the greater the reward, and that's where you are. So keep on plugging and keep on trying, and that's another theme for 4. Keep on trying, persevere, don't give up. Okay, 3s? Thanks so much, 3s, for tuning in to Jemma's Window for January. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you. We will see you next month in February when you are in the month of 5, the month of changes. Okay, if you'd like more information on me, please just jump on to gemmaswindow@gmail.com and send me any questions that you have, and I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.